You outplayed them, outsmarted their moves, got what you wanted. But then, why do you still feel small? In a world where intelligence is armor and wit is currency, we've come to believe that being clever is being strong, that to win is to be safe, that if we're smart enough, no one can touch us. But what if the constant need to outthink others isn't a sign of power, but a symptom of fear? Nietzsche once asked, "Is your intelligence a tool of creation or a shield for your insecurity?" We admire the strategist, the sharp, the witty. We watch shows about masterminds and call it power. But Nietzsche saw through this illusion, called it a reactive life, a life lived not from your own center, but in response to others, always adjusting, calculating, defending. It feels powerful, but it leaves you hollow. Because cleverness can win the moment, but only truth can build a life. Nietzsche's will to power is often misquoted. People think it means domination, conquest, ego. But Nietzsche meant something else. The real will to power, he said, is the force of life itself, not power over others, but the inner force to become fully yourself. To take chaos, your wounds, your desires, your fears, and transform them into something beautiful. To create, not to control. To speak, not to perform. To rise, not by stepping on others, but by transcending them. Anything less, Nietzsche believed, is just vanity dressed as victory. Long before Nietzsche, another figure roamed the city asking dangerous questions. Socrates, the barefoot philosopher of Athens. He didn't trick people into silence. He asked them to speak more, to uncover the gaps in their thinking. He wasn't trying to win, he was trying to awaken, and that's what scared people. Because Socrates revealed, the thing we often try to outsmart is ourselves. Nietzsche admired Socrates, but he also saw how Athens crucified him, not with a sword, but with a cup of hemlock. Fast forward to today. Cleverness is everywhere, in tweets, in meetings, in relationships. We've learned to weaponize intelligence, to avoid vulnerability by mastering the game. We say what they want to hear. We know how to end an argument. We wear irony like armor. But here's the cost. We become so focused on winning that we forget how to connect. We gain control, but lose intimacy. We impress others, but vanish inside. And Nietzsche called this Ressentiment, the quiet bitterness of those too afraid to rise on their own terms, so they pull others down. So what is real strength? It's not the ability to manipulate, but the courage to be seen. It's not proving you're right, but living in a way that doesn't need to. Nietzsche's Übermensch, the overman, wasn't someone who conquered others. It was someone who no longer needed to. Someone who faced their pain, their past, and used it as raw material for transformation. This is the real will to power, turning wounds into wisdom, loneliness into vision, silence into song. The Stoics taught that mastery of others is impressive, but mastery of self is divine, Marcus Aurelius wrote. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Even in modern psychology, research shows that manipulative or narcissistic behavior often comes from deep insecurity, not genuine confidence. So what looks like strength on the outside is often a fragile ego holding its breath. In a world of hot takes and clever replies, Nietzsche's philosophy is a quiet rebellion. He asks, what if true power is not about appearing untouchable, but about being utterly real? What if your need to outsmart others is just your fear of being vulnerable in disguise? And what if the greatest victory is to no longer need to win? So if you've ever walked away from an argument feeling victorious, but strangely empty, if you've mastered keeping your walls high, but secretly long to be known, if your brilliance protects you, but also isolates you, then maybe Nietzsche was right. Maybe outsmarting others is easy, but becoming yourself, that's the hard part. That's the real work. The real courage, the real power. Watch the next Philowhisp episode to explore more of our videos.